Welcome to Oregon Indie Film, a video podcast that shines the light on Oregon's independent film industry. I'm your host, Dawn Sellers. I interview Oregon's independent filmmakers who offer insights into the creative process, challenges, and triumphs of making movies in Oregon. Special thanks to Jessica Geffen at the Soundstage for providing the location for today's podcast episode. This episode features Anaiah Orlando, a writer, director, and producer of The Man Who Married a Robot, which will have its premiere screening tomorrow, October 8th, at the Tomorrow Theater in Portland, Oregon. It was a pleasure to sit down with Anaiah to chat about this film and his path to filmmaking, from making his first film with his sister to creating his own small production company and the plans he has for his future. I hope you enjoy my conversation with Anaiah Orlando. All right. Well, I am here today with Anaiah Orlando. Thanks for being here. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And we're here mostly to talk about your debut film, The Man Who Married a Robot,
Yes.
which is premiering, right? Mm-hmm. Premiering tomorrow night, Wednesday, October 8th.
Yeah.
At the Tomorrow Theater.
Yeah, tomorrow at the Tomorrow Theater.
It really is tomorrow. I interviewed somebody else who was having their screening there, and everybody kept thinking it was tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But no, it's the Tomorrow Theater. But yours is really tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So that's cool.
It works out.
Yeah, it works out. But first, let's just start. Maybe tell us who you are and what you do. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah. My name is Anaiah Orlando. A lot of people think that my name is Anaiah because they see so many A's. Some people at Starbucks will call out my name as Anna. It causes a bunch of issues. What I like to tell people is it's an A before every letter. So it's A-N, A-I, A-H. Okay. And then Orlando, like the city, right, which I think people can catch on to. What I do is I'm a visionary movie director. Like my goal, my biggest passion, my pursuit is to tell stories that I feel burdened to tell through writing, producing, directing. I've been afforded the opportunity in this generation to have the tools and resources available to do all of those things if I'm able to on my own. And so this film specifically is really just a practice in beginning to pass off those responsibilities. Because I no longer want to be a one-man show. Right. It's a lot of pressure. Yeah. Yeah. And so when did you first know that you wanted to be a filmmaker? Did you always want to make film? Or was there like a moment where you're like, hey, I think I can do that? I wish there was one moment. I'm hoping that being put on the spot like this can like make it jolt to my memory because I want to answer that question. I grew up in a very strict household. And so the things that I was allowed to watch were really limited. And I like to tell people, you know what it is? Do you know what VeggieTales is?
No.
Have you ever heard of VeggieTales?
No,
Wow.
I don't think so.
Okay. So VeggieTales is like such a weird and unique cartoon that is kind of incredible that it even exists. It's really popular in Christian communities. Okay. It is basically vegetables that play different characters, and they reenact stories from the Bible in like a modern context. So like one that comes to mind is like they did one called Lord of the Beans. Okay. So it's like a play on Lord of the Rings.
So is it animated? Because I'm trying to picture this in my mind. So it's all animated. Yes. It's not people in costumes like the Fruit of the Loom commercial.
That'd be scary.
That's where my mind was starting to go.
No, it's all animated. It's actually, I specifically remember watching like a VHS behind the scenes commentary on how the creator of the show, I believe his name is Phil Vischer, or like the original creator. I think Netflix bought it a couple years ago.
Really?
Yeah. So the animation style is different now or whatever, but I remember him talking about the animation style specifically. Like I remember him saying he saw some sort of object and like it reminded him of like, what if vegetables had this kind of like plush animated feel to them? Yeah. And so that's what it is. So like there's a cucumber, there's a tomato, they like host the show, they read a scripture verse from the Bible of some more like moral tale or story or whatever. and then reenact it through like a cultural lens. So like the Lord of the Beans thing is like, all the orcs are beans or something like that, right? What it did, I think, from a young age is show me that you can communicate strong messages through film.
Yes.
And that was, I think, honestly, I'm grateful because I think this right now is actually showing me how much that probably was, if not the first, one of the earliest influences, and like what inspired me to become a filmmaker. Like I definitely understood that language early on of like, there's a lot of power in audiovisual communication. It's not just entertainment. I'm entertained. Even as a kid, I could consciously think, yes, this is entertaining, but it also means something because we're communicating something to, like, I even remember thinking, I wonder how other kids like appreciate this as a story. Like I was conscious and aware of like how they must have felt when you, and yeah, that seems odd to me. Like maybe it would just be for myself.
I think it's true. Just like realizing that you can reach people and send a message to people by creating film through film.
Yeah.
It connects with all of us in different ways.
Yeah.
Stories connect, and visually connecting, I think, is totally different than reading or listening to an audio book, like actually visually seeing the story in front of you.
Yeah.
So it totally makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
that's where it started.
What's it called? Veggie what?
Veggie Tales.
Veggie Tales. I'm going to have to watch that.
What a clever, also now that I'm thinking about it, I haven't thought about this in at least a decade.
Yeah.
Like Veggie Tales, vegetable stories. Like what a clever idea.
It could be anything.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So thank you for reminding me of that.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it was a good memory.
Yeah.
And so your debut film, The Man Who Married a Robot, what was your inspiration for this film specifically?
Yeah.
And why did you make this as your first film? Like, what was the process of being inspired and then deciding, yes, this is what I want to be for my first film?
Yeah, I think the answer to the first question is easy, like what inspired it. The second, I want to answer the second part of that question first because, like, why is this like my debut, essentially? I never really like planned it to be that way. Okay. At some point I did. At some point I played along in a sense. But some of these things, like, I feel like come naturally. Like some of these things just happen and then you realize they're happening and you can either jump on board or not. Right. So it being a debut film, like the first for a lot of people of my work, like they haven't seen me do anything else. I have a background in production, like commercial, music video, all that stuff. And so people have seen like my professional commissioned work, but not like my visionary storytelling work, like my personal work. I've done 2 other zero budget short films before this, both of them in 2022.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, my personal work has been limited to like running around with a camera in high school with my brother. Like this is really, as you've already put it, like my debut film. But I never planned it to be that way. For me, it was just like the next project that I was interested in doing.
Okay. What are your other 2 short films?
The other 2 short films are on my YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
One of them is called Rain Rain, which is like a play on like the poem Rain Rain Go Away. Oh. Or the song, I guess. Yeah. And that was just my sister and I. It was like a spur of the moment. I wrote it in an hour. Really, really wanted to do it, and then just knew that like I just never would do it if I didn't do it that day. So I asked my sister what she was up to. Yeah. She was like 8 at the time, so that would be nothing. And yeah, we literally shot it in that afternoon. I edited it that night, I think. Maybe I did it over a week or something. But the other film that I have out is semi-documentary. It's basically, it does have somewhat of like a strong narrative, but it is really just me going through old videotapes of myself since I was a baby, and like just essentially putting that to a score so that you get to see my life, like from beginning to not end, but I guess up until I was 23 at the time. So yeah, those are the 2 films that I've done. Yeah. To answer the first part of your question, though, what inspired this film? Why is it my debut film? I actually, now that I realize it's becoming my debut film, there will be more people who have seen this than they've seen anything I've done. And there's a level of significance to it, I guess, because it's playing at a theater or because we've been promoting it so hard. And it's the first film that I've done via my production company that I started a couple years ago. So it is a big deal, and I'm recognizing it's a big deal. And I'm proud that it's my debut film because I think it is kind of all-encompassing as to like where I've been at and where I'm at now. The song of the same title, The Man Who Married a Robot, came out in 2019. It's by this band called the 1975. Have you heard of them?
I have not. I mean, I did when I watched your trailer and was looking up your info before today, but I had never heard of them.
Yeah. To me, if I wasn't a filmmaker, I think I would be a musician.
Yeah.
I think I would be a songwriter. Maybe in high school, like I thought maybe I'd be a rapper.
Right.
I really like wordplay. I love old school hip hop. I love going in and learning like what did he mean by that when he said that. Oh, he dissed his whole group. Like, okay, that's cool. I like the lore of that stuff. And there was a band that was really popular, probably the most popular like, as far as just in pop culture when they first came out, which is the 1975. Do you remember Tumblr? Yeah. So they were like the poster child for Tumblr. Okay. They were like the 13-year-old girl who like smoked cigarettes, black and white, like romanticizing just, I guess, being a bum, like that, like that Tumblr girl era where things were so just romantic. Like they became that. Like they're a group of 4 guys from London who grew up together and started a band together, and they're like huge fans of like Radiohead or the Smiths, or like they take after those bands like heavy. And so it introduced me to like older music. It also introduced me to the idea of like social commentary. Like I think that really was my first exposure to having a political conversation or having a cultural conversation through music. It being more than just I broke up with a girl and like that's the story. Right. And so they had an album that came out in 2019 called A Brief Inquiry into Online Relationships. And their thing for so long has been just so like meta comment. It's almost like, isn't it so funny that we say I love you on the internet instead of saying I love you in a song? Right. So they don't do love songs. They do songs about love. About love. Yeah. Interesting. So, yeah, they had a song on the album called The Man Who Married a Robot. It's not really even a song. It's like the British Siri text-to-speech. Oh, okay. Almost like a HAL 3000, HAL 9000, whatever the robot is from 2001. Is it 9000 or 3000? I can't remember. HAL 9000. It feels like that. It feels like a robot reading you a story. Yeah. And so I just liked that perspective of like a man who is maybe very much like you and I, living in this time with the access we have to the internet. And it resonated with me so much that I wrote a screenplay based on the song. And that's where we're at now. Now it's a film. And you just decided to film it. Yeah. Like did you write it thinking you would film it, or did you just write it first and then when you finish think, oh, I could film this? I think I always wanted to film it, but I wrote it like as soon as I heard it. That was like 6 years ago. Oh, okay. So for me, it was just a practice of adaptation, which I'm a huge fan of. I think like the best movies are books first or songs first, or even more recently, there's a film that came out. It's not, in my opinion, it's not a great film, but there's a film that came out called Zola. Do you remember this? That's all based on a series of tweets. I just love the process of adaptation. Yeah. Recognizing the source material for what it is and trying to do it justice in a different medium. In a different way, yeah. And so that's all it was for me. I was like, there's not a ton of information in the song about this character, but knowing what the song is trying to communicate, how would the songwriter maybe fill in those details? And then trying to get as close as I can to that without interjecting my own ideas. Yeah. Like there's a line in the song, it's not a spoiler by any means, but there's a line in the song that says, the man would get himself cooked animals, which is such a like weird, cold way of saying like he basically door dashes.
Right.
And so like in this film, he's door dashing.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair adaptation.
Yeah.
So that's
So as part of your process of writing and filming this story, did you reach out to 1975 to the band at all? No.
Well, okay, so at some point I'm sure I did. I think so their record label's Dirty Hit Records. I'm sure I emailed them years ago with no response, obviously. Who am I? I'm sure that if I really pursued that, maybe I get a response. Maybe it's worth still pursuing. But like for me, all of this has only ever been it's only gotten bigger in scale by happen chance. Like I never planned for it to be a debut film at the Tomorrow Theater. It was like, I want to write this as a film, and then I left it alone for years.
Yeah.
And then last year, we were about a year into a production company, and we had been doing documentaries and music videos, commercials, stuff like that. And I was like, I want to do like an actual short film, like not something I filmed with my sister on a random Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be like, I want to pass off responsibility to my cinematographer, and I want him to pass off responsibility to a gaffer. Like I want to do that for real.
Yeah.
And I think up until that point, I had only ever been either a one-man show, like running social media for some company by myself, or like a very small, like a PA on a bigger set. But I had never done like, no, I'm directing this. And like I have the opportunity to pass off responsibility to people who are more of an expert in their field. So it just became like the thing that of all the shorts that I had written or ideas that I had, it was the one I wanted to do the most. And so I just used that as a excuse to build out a crew.
Right.
And then it kind of just took on its own thing.
Right. And so when you say we, in regards to your production company, do you have other people in your production company?
Yeah.
Or do you use we like I do? Like we do
fair,
this, but
fair.
it's really just me.
Well, it is fair. I'm glad that you said that, because like, yeah, I mean, at some level, like we just use we because it is always we. Like if I say I think actually I could honestly talk about that for a long time. I won't, but but like saying I is at this point in my life only necessary when I believe that the other person needs to know that I'm leading something, or like
That's interesting.
there's a responsibility there. It's only really ever a responsibility thing. I say we when it's like, let me take my ego out of it, because if I say I, we know that we're on the shoulders of other people almost at all times. So even if we have put the responsibility or work in. So yes, I say we because although the production company is just myself, any project we do, we're always hiring out.
Right.
We're always getting so-and-so to, and that's how I like to run it. I don't have a concrete paid staff team, but like I have people that I work with on every project. And some of those people are the same people every time, right? So that's what I mean when I say we.
Yeah. Sometimes my husband will laugh at this, but sometimes I say we when it's really him. Like, we've done yard work today. No, it's really he has done the yard work. But I find myself doing that a lot. So using the we. So your production company, what's the name of your production company? I don't think we mentioned
It's called
that.
Answers.
Answers.
And it's spelled without an E. So it's ANSWRS.
Okay. And where did that come from? Is there a story for that?
There is.
Yeah.
There's a couple of stories for that. One, my name is Anaiah, and it means God answers in Hebrew. So a lot of people think that answers is like, we're answering for you, or we have the answers, or it's really like it's an action word. Like, there are answers to be discovered. Like there are only questions to ask. Like I always say, like the best films ask questions, they don't give answers. Like we know what it feels like to be preached at when we watch a film. Versus like, oh man, that movie made me feel like asking a lot of questions about myself. When we were shooting this film, Anora was in theaters, And Anora actually has. Have you seen Anora?
I have not seen it.
So
On my
good.
list, yeah.
I made the mistake of doing I'm like a health freak, fitness freak. I did like a 3 or 4 day fast, like a water fast. Like I hadn't eaten anything, and I went and saw that film on my last day. So I was like emotionally like just so
Yeah.
open.
Yeah.
And the movie is it's entertaining, but it's also like so heavy, and it asks a lot of really interesting questions, I think, without giving any answers. So it's not in the best way possible. It's not saying anything.
Right.
It's not telling you what to think.
Right.
It's
but
just presenting some very honest characters.
Those are my favorite kind of films that
Yeah.
really leave the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like a mess. Like I left the theater as I'm like walking to my car. I'm like, oh man. And I just remember thinking, oh man, like what a great filmmaker Sean Baker is, because I'm doing a film that might even be even more imposing than that film was. And so it just taught me like how much more I can be open to just letting the audience think for themselves. Because a lot of the themes in that movie are similar to our film. So.
And so was that sort of your goal, telling this story, The Man Who Married a Robot? Was that one of your goals, was to leave the audience with questions?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, like I just rewatched it a couple days ago after not watching it for a while, with the framework in mind of like being in the theater tomorrow and being with people.
Yeah.
And it actually like took a weight off my shoulders, because I think the whole time we've been like marketing this and talking about it, I've been dealing with like this really like surface level, or I'm sorry, like really like it's not on the surface, I don't know how to say this, but like just this fear or like insecurity or whatever of like, not will people like it, but like will people understand it? Do I have to explain it afterwards?
Will they get it? Yeah.
And like,
yeah.
After watching it with that framework, I'm like, it speaks for itself. Like I'd rather say less tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's great. Are you from Portland? I didn't ask that question in the beginning. I usually ask that.
No, you're good. Yes and no.
Yeah.
I traveled a lot growing up, but I've lived here for the past 8 years, so I think we can say I'm from Portland now.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the last 5 were kind of,
I know it's
strange,
like very different. I've been in Portland long enough to experience it pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID,
so.
yeah.
What about you?
I've been in Portland probably longer than you've been alive.
Okay.
1985 is when I moved to Portland. So yeah, I'm old, but
You're looking young. You're looking good.
Yeah, I've been here a long time. So, but where are you from? I mean, you travel.
I mean,
but where do you call home? I guess
I call here home for
Portland
sure.
home?
Yeah,
That's
for
nice,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, because the first half of my life was like smaller cities, and or just like towns. And like I've never vibed with that. I've always been like a big city person, regardless of how big or small it might feel. Like I've been here long enough to where Portland doesn't feel big to me anymore.
Right, but when you first came, it did. That's when
Absolutely.
I first moved to Portland in '85. I moved from Eugene, so not that far away.
Yeah.
But Portland was the big city.
Yeah.
And it seemed that way, and that was really what drew me here.
Well, Eugene probably feels like small enough to where it's like.
Yeah, I mean, it's grown a lot now.
Whoa.
I mean, Eugene has really improved a lot since I was there in the 80s. But yeah, Portland feels like a big city.
Yeah.
When you don't live here, but when you live here, I think it really does seem like a small town, because most people, especially in the film industry, everyone knows everyone. It seems like, or meets everyone.
In any industry, it's like within a year, if you're outside, if you're going to events once a week, like you're just gonna start meeting everybody. And then I know, like, I have 4 younger siblings, and like none of them are city people, and my 2 younger brothers, I have a brother so I'm 26, he's 23. I have another brother who's 20. Both of them like don't drive in downtown Portland. Like to them, it's like the most intimidating thing in the world to have to like parallel park on the street or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like to me, I'm like, get out of my way, like please, like because you just have that comfortability if you're there for a while, you know?
Yeah, interesting. So where do they live? What small town? Are they all in the same town?
Actually, I was about to say everybody's in Vancouver now, but 2 of my siblings are going to George Fox University. So they're in, where is that?
Newburgh.
Newburgh, yeah. So they're there, and then everybody else is in
It's
Vancouver.
very small. I mean, I think Newburgh's a very small town.
Yeah, I've only been there a couple times, and I'm like, whoa, you guys have like the one coffee shop, not like any coffee shop you go
on
to
every
is gonna
corner.
be awesome. Yeah.
So did you film this movie in Portland? Yeah. And did you cast and crew it yourself, or what was that experience like? Like finding cast, finding crew. How did you go about that? I know Logan Cannon is the lead in this.
Yeah. Isn't Logan great?
Logan's amazing.
Logan
great. Is amazing. He's been on the podcast, and I actually just finished working on a film last week that Logan is in.
Okay, great.
Called That's My Horse. And I'm really excited to see how that comes along because Logan's great.
Yeah.
And
he's great.
But I'm excited to see him in your film because
Thank
it's
you.
different than a Western. It's completely different. So
I want to see your film now.
It's not my film. It's Chris Crowley's film.
Okay.
And my husband Doug is actually in it also.
Oh, cool.
And so I was PAing. I was just there for
Awesome.
extra hands to
That's
help
fun.
out.
We love that.
But
we love PAs.
exactly.
Like,
I'm like,
please, I need more of them.
free help. Just let me know what to do.
Yeah.
But so Logan is the lead in your film. And do you have other characters?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the process, to answer your question, quickly became also like I said before, like not only passing off responsibility, but wanting like a system in place that like when life gets crazy, because man, I'm finding myself wanting to talk about like 5 different things now, but
I know.
we'll keep it.
Once you start opening up, we could probably talk for hours. I feel like
I'm on your time. I'm really on your time.
I've got all day.
But like, I wanted to say that from a young age, I just grew up watching people really closely. Like, oh, I've noticed a pattern here. If this person does this until they're 30, they're probably going to do this when they're 40, like that kind of thing.
Right.
And with filmmaking, once I realized that it was a true passion of mine, I've left room for other things to be my passion. I did music a lot in high school. And then when I moved here for college in 2017, I was like a graphic designer full-time for a year, which is like played a really cool role in this film. Because people are like, who did your poster? I'm like, my guy.
Me?
I was up till like 2 a.m. working on that thing.
We did the poster.
We did the poster, yeah. and like I just have left room for, if I'm passionate about something, I'll see it through. And filmmaking is the last thing that, like, no matter how hard it's gotten, I've wanted to continue seeing it through. Yeah. And I don't feel the same way about anything else. Yeah. And so because of that, I've just studied film and I've studied other directors, and it would seem that the directors who put work above family don't have a family at the end of the day.
Right.
And I've always wanted a family. And so I'm, even at 26, which is obviously super young, I'm still considering the next couple of decades of like, how do I treat work? How do I treat the process? And so to get back to your original question of Logan and production and how that all works and how it's been working, every part of the process for me has been important because I want the process to be second nature when I do have a family, right? I'm not married. I'm not seeing anybody at the moment. I don't have kids. So I have the opportunity to play this out and really give it my all. But once I'm married, like, my wife comes first. That's just how I think about life. This is what I've decided on. Maybe I change my mind later, but I'm pretty sure I won't. And so the production process of like casting, or getting a PA or getting like behind the scene, like all that stuff, the process was actually run through this application called Milanote. Have you ever used Milanote? Milanote like has changed my life. Coming from like a commercial background or like just being a creative within the city of Portland, what I've noticed the most is that like absolutely no shade to anyone, any production company, any leader, any creative, but like the pre-production stage, I feel like gets so rushed, where like people show up on set and have no idea what they're doing.
So important.
Yeah, and so I more than anything wanted the pre-production process to be the most important. And so Logan was a big help with that. My cinematographer, Nathan On, was a big help with that because he's like a personal friend of mine. And then somebody who helped with locations and a little bit of funding as well is a good friend of mine, Thayu Fields, who runs a nonprofit called Two Coins. And so the three of us are really like, when I say we, that's who I'm talking about.
Okay.
And so
It's kind of your team.
yeah.
Yeah, for this film. Yeah.
Yeah. And my brother helped out, and a huge group of people that we've just happened to know within the city who are just talented in their own right. We're a big help. I think maybe like a total of 15 people worked on the film. It's costed us $1,200, which is nothing, I think, compared to like any other production. And we got a good 15 minutes out of it. So,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah, I don't know if that like answers your question, but you can see how I was like trying not to go in like 5 different tangents.
Right. So, did you hold auditions, or did you just sort of choose people for the roles?
Yeah, we held auditions in a sense. There was like a handful of actors that I felt like would fit the role. Of I guess like the stereotype or the typecast.
Stay right there. We'll be back to hear more in just a moment.
Calling all filmmakers, performers, and creatives. The Soundstage is your home for high-quality recording in the Portland area. Whether you're working on an audio or video podcast, voiceover project, audiobook, casting your next film, or need help with that self-tape audition, we offer a professional, welcoming studio space. Come record with confidence and mention the Oregon Indie Film Podcast to get $5 off your next session. Learn more about The Soundstage, the Northwest's premier voiceover and recording studio, at thesoundstagenw.com.
Hey there. If you're enjoying this episode of Oregon Indie Film, don't go anywhere. We've got more great conversation coming up. And if you believe in uplifting local voices and the power of independent storytelling, we'd love your support. Hit that follow button, share the show with a friend, or leave us a quick 5-star review. It makes a big difference. Want to get more involved? Reach out at OregonIndieFilm@gmail.com. Now, back to the episode.
Yeah, so we held auditions in a sense. I sent over a document to a handful of people, and got them sides and did the whole thing, and then Logan sent in his audition tape, and so did a handful of other people, and then we picked Logan. Yeah.
Yeah. But your crew, it sounds like, were people that you had already worked with or people that you knew. So you didn't really have...
Yeah. For me, the most important thing was location, because like the entire film, with exception of the opening sequence, is shot in one location, in one household. So for me, it was like, let's get a household that we don't have to do a ton of work on, that's going to look adequate to what we're trying to do visually. We don't have all the money in the world to like create a house from scratch, or like all the things that, you know, my mind is going in so many different directions wanting to do. But so we got location down, and then it was like, who are the people that we absolutely need to be there?
Right.
And so for me, it was like, obviously Logan, obviously myself, my cinematographer, and then that's kind of where like Thayu Fields came into play. Like, he was kind enough to set up his home, so we're shooting it at his home, and one, I think it was just us 4. I think it was like these are the 4 people that need to be here. Anyone else, we just know enough people who are talented at what they do that like if somebody can't make it to that shoot date, because we shot it all in one day as well. If somebody can't make it on that day, like somebody will be able to fill the role. And luckily, like I think almost all of my first picks were able to show up for that day, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How many days did you shoot altogether?
So literally just, actually, I think a total of 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went out. I went out with my cinematographer, and we shot some drone footage for the opening sequence that took us maybe an hour or two, and then the night of, which was like probably 80% of the shots that we needed were done in that night, at this person's home, and then we shot from maybe like 5 p.m. to I think we wrapped at 12 a.m. So it was all like nighttime shoot.
Oh, wow.
For the most part, we had a couple shots that were during the day, and then as the sun was setting, we were able to set up for the rest of the stuff. And then we had one kind of like surreal sequence in the movie that takes place at somebody else's home, and that was actually at my house. So I had the opportunity to shoot at my house, which was kind of fun.
That's nice.
It literally was like 2 or 3 shots.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
That's I mean, the total of 3 days. I mean, you could say 2 days, really. It's 2 half-day shoots and a full-day shoot. So
yeah. So 15-minute film. How long was your script? How many pages do you remember?
I think 7.
Oh, okay.
I knew that a lot of the film is show not tell. So I knew it wasn't going to be a longer script.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's literally half,
Right.
what the typical, you'd think that the script be, 12 to 15 pages,
Right.
but it definitely was only like 7 or 8 pages. And I knew that was because there's just a lot of sequences that are either led by music, which again is like my background. Like all throughout high school, all I would do is find a song that I was really digging that week and like go out into a space, whether it be my backyard or somebody's house or the city or whatever, and shoot it every which way I could and just experiment with how I like things shot. And then I would come home with like 50 clips and try and piece them together in a way that felt smooth and just led by the music. Like that's all I did in high school.
Right.
And it was essentially like doing music videos.
Yeah.
Right. And so I knew that was going to play a role in this film because it's just like what I love to do.
So how did you get your music? Do you have somebody that
for this film?
Yeah.
I want to say his full name, and I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah, no.
But this is a guy that I got connected with through a production buddy who just moved to Amsterdam a couple years ago with his wife. He's killing it over there. I could probably give him a shout out as well. His name's Joseph Frank. But he connected me with his composer who did the score for us. Let me pull this up.
And so he wrote the music specifically for the film?
Yeah, I gave him a reference. His name is Jair van der Bruggen, and he's from Amsterdam.
Wow.
He's great. He's done almost exclusively sci-fi scores. And of the 3 or 4 people we were considering in the pre-production process, like I just loved his stuff the most, and he was willing to work with our budget because I knew like with the limited budget we had, like a lot of that was going to go to score. Like when push comes to shove, I got to have the music to be like the music has to be great.
Right.
And so like we went back and forth over WhatsApp for like 5 months. And I had him do 6 tracks. I think he ended up sending me a total of like 7 or 8 because he had a couple like versions that he wanted to mess around with. I think he had some fun with some of those. But I basically sent him a playlist, which I had gone through. And this, again, harkens back to like stuff that I would do in high school where the music that I made in high school, that I would like sit at the piano. My mom had me do like piano lessons when I was a kid. And I would sit at the piano and like just compose something, just original whatever, and then run it through GarageBand or Logic or whatever and mess with the sounds and experiment and try and find something. It harkens back to those days because whatever I would make, I put out an album in my senior year of high school, and I would always tell people it's basically like a soundtrack to a movie that doesn't exist.
Okay.
So how telling is it that that's how I chose to describe it? Obviously, I was always wanting to make movies.
Yeah.
And
before you even realized it.
Yeah. And so, like along with that, I would always like playlist was a big thing for me. Any girl I ever took interest in high school, like let me send you a playlist. Right. This is how I feel.
We
and
used
it was
to
like,
call them mixtapes, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, even back then, I think we were
because
like
they were actually taped.
we were tongue in cheek calling them mixtapes, but they were Spotify playlists.
Yeah. Now it's playlists.
Yeah. But yeah, like, so I essentially did the same thing with Jair. I sent him like maybe 6 tracks. Yeah. At that point I had already like kind of perfected it. Basically I put together like all these tracks that I was like, this is like the feel of the film, and then kind of like dwindled them down. And then I would like put them behind the film. I think we already had some sort of rough cut already. And so I would put them behind the film and then like feel out how it led the scene. And then I ended up with like 6 tracks where I was like, hey, I want you to do your thing. I don't want you to be limited by these, but I want you to have some sort of sense of direction of like where I'm thinking for each track. So we had 6 tracks and I think it'd be fun to speak on them in case they're familiar.
So do you
with
have those on? Do you have a playlist on Spotify for the film?
No. We are planning on releasing the score as its own album, so be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
I'll be posting that on my Instagram and website or whatever once him and I get a chance. We're supposed to have a meeting next weekend about how to do the rollout for that album. But yeah, I sent him a playlist that was a track from Ex Machina, a track from Annihilation. Have you seen that film?
No.
It's a early what's his name? Why am I blanking now? Ex Machina, Warfare, the director. Why am I blanking on his name? It's because I'm on the spot. Anyway, where there's a Radiohead song in there. Big Radiohead fan. Possessor, just like a really underrated film about people that take control of somebody's body who is close to the assassination target so that they can assassinate them without.
Oh, wow. What's that called?
Possessor.
Oh, that sounds good.
So they basically kidnap, like, let's say they want to kill the president, right? They'll kidnap the body of a secretary and put a chip in their head.
Yeah.
And then the assassin will have a chip in their head, and they will remote control to the person, kill the target, and then remote control out of their brain. Wow. So it looks like they did that. And then we had an M83 song in there as well.
So a lot of sci-fi references.
Yeah.
Inspiration. Yeah.
Are you familiar with M83?
No.
M83 is like my all-time dream composer. Like if I could have somebody compose a $1 billion movie, like it's M83 all the way. I think if anyone is familiar or not familiar, it's worth checking out. So. Yeah.
Do you have a film in mind already for that?
Literally any film.
Oh, any
because
film.
He could do sci-fi, he could do horror, he could do romance for sure. There's a sensitivity to his stuff, and then there's like a fantasy to his stuff. Interstellar is a great example. Interstellar is one of my favorite films, and it feels like Interstellar has a healthy amount of like fantasy and dream-like sequences, but also romance and family, maybe even a little bit of horror, right? I love stuff like that.
Yeah. So did you have any specific challenges while making the film? Like what do you see as your biggest challenge?
It's funny, like we wrapped that bigger shoot day, and I turned to my buddy and I was like, well, we had like no problems. That was great. That went great. But we had somebody shooting behind the scenes content the whole time. And when I went back and reviewed that footage, I was like, oh, we had like a ton of problems. We just were like on our feet about it.
That's because you did pre-production.
Literally, yes. That's the only reason. That's because like I obsessed over like, again, this program, Millinote, which is, it's basically like a virtual corkboard. And you have, I basically put out a board for each stage of the filmmaking process. And then like a to-do list on each one. And then if anybody had any images, like that's where we put our shot list. That's where we put our art direction. That's where we put our score inspiration, stuff like that. And so, like I think the biggest problem we had was we just didn't have a SD card specifically formatted for audio recording. So our audio engineer, our audio mixer, like literally had nothing to record on as soon as we showed up. And so luckily, it would have really put us behind if this hadn't happened. But my cinematographer, his sister just happened to be in town and was already on her way to the shoot to just be an extra set of helping hands and just be around for the process. And so he texted her and was like, hey, can you stop by Best Buy before you get here? And that saved us so much time because then one of us would have had to leave and all of us had something to do as soon as we got on set.
Well, with a crew of 4 or 5 people.
Well, by the time we were at that set, I think there was probably 10 people there. Yeah.
But still.
But still, everybody
has a job.
Nobody's going to go to Best Buy. It's like 30 minutes away.
Right. Yeah. Well, that was lucky.
Yeah.
Any happy surprises? I mean, that you can think of that maybe turned out better than you imagined, or?
Yeah, just in general, or like of the shoot day?
For this film.
Yeah, I think like the process of post-production, like in color grading. Color grading is like my least favorite part of the entire filmmaking process.
It's so important too.
It's so important, and like I could send you a million references, but I don't want to sit there and like tweak the highlights and all that stuff. Like I've done that my fair share. I don't want to do it anymore. And so I pass it off to a really good colorist whose name is Ryan. I want to get his last name right too. And he, actually, you probably know him.
Is it Ryan Graves?
Ryan Graves,
Oh, yeah. Ryan Graves. We all know Ryan Graves.
Yeah, I mean,
he's fantastic.
He's been around. He's been doing incredible work.
Yeah,
he's never not busy.
He color graded my film, too. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So, yeah, Ryan Graves. And, like, I just realized how ignorant I was to the process.
Yeah.
Like, I'd only been color grading for, like, local commercial work or not even commercial work, like social media work, which is just like the tip of the iceberg.
Put a filter on and
yeah, really. I mean, you can mess with all the
exactly
blacks and whites and shadows and blah blah blah, but like that's I honestly at this point, like any influencer knows how to do that.
Right.
And he was just showing me stuff that like I was like, and quickly too, like he'd pull up something like live in his studio and I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. And then just like looking at other references, we had really just 2 references for the entire film, which was Prisoners from 2013, just because I love how both Roger Deakins, the cinematographer of that film, and also whoever did the color, how they made like suburban life look like very lifeless, but also so fascinating at the same time.
Right.
And then I think that film Possessor also like had a big influence on just the maybe the sci-fi look, because at first we wanted to go with something maybe cleaner. Like Ex Machina has been in the back of our minds for so long, but Ex Machina was shot digitally, and the whole thing is like so sterile, like, which makes sense. Like he's at this guy's compound and he's like he's engineering these robots, but we realized that we really wanted to go with like a more artificial, like we shot it on digital as well, but a more artificial film grain look that had its imperfections. And so Possessor was actually shot on digital and then translated over into like a film look. And then I think Prisoners is on film. So that just made sense.
Yeah, and so was that something Ryan did for you then, was to make it look that way?
Yeah. And I was just blown away.
Yeah,
so
I know he is great. I mean, it's much more technical than I think people realize.
Yeah.
And there's so much more that goes into it. It's really important, and Ryan is fantastic. So what's the plan for this film? I mean, you're screening it tomorrow at the Tomorrow Theater, but beyond that, what are you hoping for?
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be great. Tomorrow, my mom is a teacher. And her mom was a school teacher. She homeschooled us up until high school, all 5 of us.
Oh, wow.
And then a lot of our, field trips, if you will, were like going to local museums or art shows or, anywhere we would go travel, like that was a big part of it. Let's go see this Van Gogh exhibit or let's go see this, whatever it was. And so I just like quickly fell in love with the whole like, going to, like, you go to OMSI and they have like an installation that's specifically catered towards a certain experience of like sound and visuals. And to me, like that paired with film to me is like the highest form of like artistic expression, because it's all encompassing. You can put a painting in that, you can put a song in that, you can put architecture in that, you can put lighting technician stuff in that. And so for this film, the plan is to make somebody feel like that. Like I remember going to certain art exhibits and like you go in and like there's birds chirping and like the lights are a certain way. It's super dramatic and it would be cheesy, except the fact that like that's why you're going. That's the whole thing. So you don't think about it. Yeah, it doesn't. It's literally meant to stimulate all senses. And so that's what we want to do. So like the way that the lighting will be there, the music that we'll have playing there, it all serves the film. So you're not just showing up and just watching a film and that's it. You're getting like a all-encompassing, like surreal, stimulating experience. And then even the Q&A after, I think, will be a good transition from like the film being a little bit darker or a little bit heavier into we want people to enjoy themselves in the lobby afterwards and whatnot. And so I think the Q&A will help with that transition where we have a conversation. People are able to ask us questions, myself, Logan, and then our producer, Thayu. We'll all be on stage. And I think people will be able to, just create space for healthy conversation. And then we have a couple like fun activities out in the lobby as well. And so, that's like my biggest passion. I had the opportunity to go to have you been to the Sphere in Las Vegas yet?
No.
That is like maybe top 5 like life experiences for me. Like
Really?
I'll never forget the showing that I went to.
What did you see there?
I went and saw Darren Aronofsky's documentary. I think it's called Postcards from Earth, which I think is probably the best thing to go see as a filmmaker, because I know they do a lot of concerts there. But to see a film there, I remember being 13 or 14 years old and like going to a theater and being like, why can we not get this like, because I remember even at 14 or 15, that was when they were first starting to try out like VR headsets. Like the Oculus was a thing and people would use it to play video games. And I was like, that's cool, but like, why can't we have like I was never a sports guy growing up. All my friends wanted to catch up with football and you have the football nights and cook wings and like all that. Like that was never me. That was not my vibe. I wanted to go see Tarantino's next film or whatever it was, right? That was my thing. And I just was like, why can't we have like a Super Bowl level theater experience? Or like when a band comes into town and they sell out a stadium. Like, why is that not the case for film?
Good question.
and I think for certain films, like it should be. Like not every film.
Not every film.
Like there's a difference between like a local rock band that's good, but like they don't need to be selling out Moda Center.
Right.
But it's special. It's unique to that venue. You know, maybe they're at the Ballroom or maybe they're Pioneer Square, whatever. But like for I don't know, like a Darren Aronofsky, for him to do this, like it's surreal. Like pulling up to the Sphere, the lobby, the bars on different level. I mean, it's a mall. You're basically walking into like a glorified, like it is the pairing of like the scale of a mall or the scale of if you go to a Timbers game or you go to, Moda Center, like it is that level of experience where, ushers are walking you down the aisle and there is literally like a fancy cocktail bar on every floor. Like you are getting the highest level experience of a theater, like of a movie going experience. The bathrooms are not with like trash sprawled everywhere like it would be at like a regular theater.
Right.
It's like very well kept.
Yeah.
And so you feel like you're really going to like a once in a lifetime movie going experience. And that's why like it'll forever stick with me.
So are you hoping, after this screening and experience tomorrow, are you hoping to recreate that at other theaters with this film?
I think we're only going to do one showing.
Yeah. And
Not
then,
I think. I know we're only going to do one
and
showing.
then what will happen with the film? Like, what are you,
We'll
I
see.
guess, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Just wait and see.
Yeah, just wait and see. For now, it's a one-time showing.
Yeah.
It's a one-night only experience. It's all encompassing. It's not just seeing the film, but it's being there in the room with those people.
Yeah.
The Tomorrow Theater has been very easy to work with. And the way that they run events so far, in my experience, is truly like exceptional.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really proud to be able to do this event with them in partnership with them. There's a lot of other venues that we could have done, and I'm just glad that we're doing it with them. And so, like I said, all of that really just to say that like that's what matters to me, is like giving somebody like a one-time memorable experience, not just like checked it off the box, saw Anaiah's film, whatever.
Yeah, it's interesting because I wonder, I'm sitting here thinking about that and how, wouldn't that be amazing if that's sort of the next evolution of film? I mean, as we all know, distribution in film is sort of in flux right now. People can stream at home, but is that really the experience you want? Going to a movie theater that's empty, is that the experience you want? or creating a full experience like they're doing at the Sphere. I mean, maybe the Wizard of Oz being there and so many people going to see that experience will sort of encourage that evolution. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah,
That could be a really good thing.
it's like honestly, I view it as the same conversation that we're all having with AI right now as well.
Right.
Everybody thinks that AI is going to completely replace everything.
Yeah.
And I just think even just the way it's gone in the last like 2 years, it's just another thing.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing is true for streaming. Like I think people were really afraid that like HBO Max did the whole thing where it was like same day, you go see it in the theater or you go see it on Max. And it's like even somebody like Christopher Nolan was like, cool, you ruined my Tenet release. Let me work with, because he stopped working with Warner Brothers because of that. Yep. And then now he's with Universal. Mm-hmm. And they're going to make a killing on the Odyssey. I think they're already sold out in some theaters. And that movie comes out a year from now. And so I think it's just like people find where they want to put their project. I don't think it's like one thing swallows something else completely whole. Right. And I think AI is the same thing. I think, yeah, there probably will be movies that release in theaters that are like fully made by AI. Mm-hmm. But I think that's like the gimmick. It's the same thing as like anime films are coming out and having their own premiere. It's like it's just a different medium. Yeah. And so it's like, where do artists want to fit, or like where are they supposed to fit, or where do they end up fitting? Right. Who knows? My biggest dream, truly, it would be to do like an unmarketable, $1 billion one-time movie showing at the Sphere, right? Like that's to me, that's just like the coolest thing ever, because you get an all-encompassing experience. I like certainly had an incredible experience there just watching this short documentary. And then you get to watch a film that's really unique, and maybe you do multiple showings. I don't know, one-time showing is kind of ridiculous, but we've heard of people doing this. There was a Tilda Swinton movie. I can't remember who directed it, but she did this movie that it showed one time. Right. Across a bunch of things. Maybe you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know the name of the movie, but I've heard of it. But yeah. I mean, I've heard that.
So people do that. It's like you only get this experience once, and that is the experiment. That's the art. That's the installation itself. Is like you don't get to go see this like it's any other movie.
Yeah, it's sort of. I mean, live theater is somewhat like that, right? It's different every night. I mean, it's in the moment. It's that night is never recreated, even though the show might run 2 weeks or 2 years, but every night is different. Yeah. And, maybe that's part of the evolution. I don't know. Yeah. I don't have the answers, but...
that film is called Memoria.
Oh, Memoria.
In case anybody wants to look it up and get acquainted with the director. But yeah. It's like a full 2.5 hour film. They and it has an A-lister in it, but they just showed it once. So
I'm not sure many people could afford to do that though.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it costs so much to make a film that just having it one night.
Yeah, you got to be doing that honestly just for the art.
Right.
Not for the financial profit.
Exactly.
You got to be in a unique position to even do that. So.
Well, and you talked a little bit about your big dream of, having a film show in the Sphere. I always like to ask guests, what is your big, beautiful dream? Like if you could do anything in the world, film related or not, money, time, no obstacles, what would it be? What's your big, beautiful dream?
Yeah, I think that's pretty close to what it would be. I think it's kind of twofold. Like I have my own... approach to my filmmaking career. I think it will look wildly different than I could ever imagine, because you can't I think the most successful people act like they can control everything with an intrinsic knowledge that they can't, and then they can respond to the things they can't control, like they can move along with it. But either side of that is unhealthy. It's like if you think everything's going to go the way that you planned it, then you're going to be in a world of hurt. But if you just go, like it's just whatever happens, then you have no vision. And it's like, so like, my thing is, I have somewhat of a trajectory or plan that I'm hoping, works out or pans out. I have a goal in mind, and then, a series of goals that follow as far as like the films that I make. But the big dream, is kind of twofold. It's one, like truly, like I would love to put a film in the Sphere. And I think that's an impossible dream. I think not an impossible that it could never happen, but it doesn't seem attainable whatsoever. I mean, it's pretty exclusive.
Right.
And who knows, maybe they build a bunch more in the next 30 years. But like, that was truly like the best theater going experience I've ever had. The greatest like art experience I've ever had. Because the mix of sound and visual within that space, with that surround sound, with that screen, was just unreal to me. And to feel it in a stadium of other people, like that place was packed out. And when, you know, you have like I don't even know how big that screen is. I'm bad with math, so let's just pretend it's like 1,000 feet. You have a 1,000-foot spider jumping at you, and then like hundreds of people are like, "Whoa!" Like that's something. Like, and
sharing
so I think
that experience with others.
And then the other side of that would be as far as like stories being told. My biggest passion is like the thing that I would love to adapt the most that I have since I was in high school would be Dante's Divine Comedy. I don't know if you're familiar with that. So it's Inferno and Purgatorio and Paradiso. It's Dante Alighieri playing himself. He wrote these books in like I think the 1300s. And it's essentially, I believe he was like ex-Catholic. So the series of books is like his commentary on the Catholic Church as him as a fictional adventurous character going through these levels of eternity. So hell, purgatory, and heaven. And he's being guided by the poet Virgil, who was like his favorite poet. So he's being guided through this, and it's essentially like this spiritual experience happening like in real time for him, where this is where we get like the movie Seven, like with the 7 layers of hell. Like I think in that movie Brad Pitt is like reading the spark notes to Inferno. Like it's a Inferno, just Inferno by itself is like a huge influence on literally any horror movie or any depiction of hell. Like it all comes from there. And so I'm surprised that I'm not surprised in a sense that they've never done a film adaptation, because it's basically unmarketable. It'd be NC-17 100%. Who wants to spend money on it, because it'd be probably one of the most expensive movies ever made. We're talking about like Lord of the Rings level, but like not really accessible to most audience goers. So, but for maybe you and I who want to see something unique and surreal, worth exploring for sure.
Well, and if you had unlimited time and money, you could do it.
Yeah. So that's why it's the dream, right?
Yeah.
So
interesting. Yeah. Well, is there anything else you want to share that we haven't talked about? We've talked about a lot.
No, I've really enjoyed this conversation with you. Actually, I wanted to ask you, is there something like that for you? Like a big dream?
Yeah. So for me, I am really excited I like to make my own projects, definitely, but I'm really excited by helping other people make their projects. And so, you know, my goal with this podcast is to brand Oregon as the indie film capital of the world, because I think we have that possibility here. And so I guess that's part of my big, beautiful dream is to just see lots of great films being made right here in Portland and in Oregon, because I think we have it all. We have the people, we have the creativity, we have the locations. So yeah, if I ever win like the big lottery, you know, building a couple of studios, having the resources to help people get films made is kind of my big, beautiful dream.
Awesome.
Yeah, and, you know, make my own stuff too.
Yeah.
So I have lots of ideas. I'm mostly a writer. So
okay, cool. We need to talk more then, because that's the space that I'm entering into in the next couple of years. I just want to become a writer. Like I want to write something that is good enough to just read, and then maybe we make it, you know, like a couple years after. So we'll talk for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask you that of all the things, because you've kind of done it all, right? You've written, directed, now produced. You've been a one-person show. What's your favorite thing to do? Is it writing?
No, not at all. That's why I'm doing it, because I want to become exceptional at it. I want to care about the intricacies of the short film that we're doing really is just like how I said, like a practice and adaptation. I didn't really have to work that hard to manufacture some of these things. Like they were already there.
Right,
And
the
so I
ideas
just
were
had
already
to call
there.
them out.
Yeah.
But by far my favorite thing is the visionary part of it. It's the directing. And if I had the opportunity to direct something I wrote and I get to produce it and I get to be a part of the marketing behind it. Like marketing is huge to me also.
Yeah.
How does this trailer feel? What's the song we're using? Is that relevant? Is that catchy? Is it, how are we promoting this? Even the materials at this event, like give people an extension of the film. So that part of it I love as well.
So directing is your favorite?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like to direct too. Yeah. I like to direct my own stuff, but I like to bring other people's work to life too. So
That's cool.
But yeah, we can definitely talk more about writing and all of that. So where can we find you online? You have a website, I'm sure.
It's just my first and last name, AnaiahOrlando.com.
Yeah.
Instagram handle's the same, Facebook's the same. The Man Who Married a Robot is in theaters tomorrow on October 8th.
And it has its own Facebook page too.
Yep.
I found that.
Yep, it has its own everything. It's got IMDb if you want to save it to your watch list for the next day. If you want to give it a 10 out of 10 star review. If you want to put it in your Letterboxd top 4, it's on Letterboxd, whatever. So
perfect.
Yeah.
And so tickets are still available.
Yes.
For tomorrow at the Tomorrow Theater. And they're like $15. So very affordable for a full experience.
Yeah. We're about a fourth sold right now, limited seating. So
so get your tickets.
Yeah,
I know I'll be there. My husband and I'll be there.
Awesome.
And can't wait to see Logan on the screen.
Yeah.
And your film. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll put all the links in the show notes.
Yeah.
So if people want to follow you or reach out to you, all of those things, and I'll try to get this up tonight, so people can see it and hopefully come support the film.
Yeah.
But if not, if they're listening after tomorrow and they miss it, then just follow along. And
absolutely. We'll be doing more stuff to come.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
and I look forward to watching your success. Thanks so much for listening. Be sure to follow Anaiah on his website, AnaiahOrlando.com, or on social media. You'll find those links in the show notes, along with links to his YouTube channel and Tomorrow Theater, where you can buy tickets for the premiere and the complete film experience on October 8th. There will be a Q&A after the film, so you can ask your questions and meet Anaiah along with the lead actor, Logan Cannon, and others from the film. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to leave a 5-star review and share it on your social media. It helps us connect with more indie film lovers. Be sure to check out the Soundstage in downtown Vancouver for all of your voiceover, self-tape, and podcasting needs. Thanks again for their support. Would you like to support the podcast by becoming a guest or a sponsor? Reach out at OregonIndieFilm@gmail.com.